Carmen met Izzy when they were toddlers. Their parents had been friends since childhood, and because of Carmen's mother's risky career, Carmen and her older brother would stay at Izzy's place for many sleepovers throughout the years. It became Izzy's second nature for them to be side by side. As they developed into young girls, they each developed their own dreams. Izzy wanted to be with family as she had many younger siblings, and Carmen wanted to be a comedic actress after getting stuck by her favorite movies. While the idea of getting on stage in front of people or performing for a camera for millions scared Izzy to death, she always listened to Carmen's excited ramblings about the movies she loved, and how she would love to be in one just like it someday. Both girls thought the idea of playing a new person for every role sounded so fun, because Izzy liked the idea of playing someone who didn't have the fear, anxiety, and insecurity that she did. That fear was exactly the reason she never believed she could act. Carmen was just bummed that she only got to live one life, and was excited to live other lives through movies. Unfortunately, Carmen had a bit of a movie-like experience as a child, kidnapped by her mom's evil ex-boyfriend alongside her brother Flynn. After their rescue, their mother and father quit the secret agent business to focus on taking care of Flynn, Carmen, and their new little brother Russell. Carmen had an I'm a bear phase, likely her way to cope with everything that had happened, and of course Izzy also helped her cope through this time, though Carmen did eventually find a way to live without it lingering too much on her mind. She found solace in comedy and acting like herself again, not letting the past stop her future. She definitely got through it a lot more gracefully than a lot of people would have, including me, which is partially due to her very strong support system. As a teenager, the girls would continue their sleepovers, watch scary movies together, and eat at the local diner together while sipping on milkshakes and spilling secrets. Carmen knew she liked girls, though she didn't really put a label on it. She didn't, however, know that she liked Izzy in that way. Her lack of understanding of her feelings and that they weren't just friendly feelings kept her from ever really romancing Izzy in their teenhood, although they always had a spark. On the other hand, Izzy didn't really know she liked girls, but she knew she liked Carmen. But she was a bit afraid to ruin the friendship. In high school, Izzy left a note and flowers in Carmen's locker as a little gift, though there was a slight misunderstanding and Carmen only saw the note and didn't see it was from Izzy. She thought it was a flirty note, but in actual context it was a sweet, maybe slightly romantic note from Izzy appreciating Carmen for being there after her parents' unexpected divorce. When the semester school play came around, the girls tried out for the biggest roles. Izzy was quite nervous to do so, but thought it would be a fun thing to do besides Carmen. She hoped she could be courageous enough to do something fun with her best friend. They practiced together, romantic scenes even, because they're super comfortable doing that as very friendly best friends. While both girls didn't have a high acting skill, acting like they liked each other wasn't the hardest thing to do. Carmen got the lead role for the play, and during this time met some kids from her class, Kieran and Micah, whom she honestly did not hit it off with at first, at least not Micah. He thought she was annoying. Izzy got a smaller role in the play, and as they practiced together, Izzy became a bit more confident in her ability to act. However, once the play came around, she wasn't as confident. Carmen could feel was excitement, but Izzy wasn't so sure. The girls bantered before the show, and Carmen went out for the opening scene. Both greatly believed in each other, yet Izzy struggled to believe in herself, and when it was her turn to go on stage, she froze in the back. The director, concerned that she wasn't prepared to come on stage, sent Carmen to go find her. He was curled up in the dressing room crying. She tried to push Carmen away, sounding heartbroken, but Carmen didn't leave. She didn't want Carmen to see her in such a mess of a state, so Carmen sat with her back to her so she wasn't looking at her. She with Izzy despite the play. "They can wait," she said. They held hands around the corner, and Izzy apologized for ruining Carmen's stage debut. Carmen listened to Izzy, who said it was stage fright, and she said it was too difficult in front of those people other than Carmen. Carmen just made it too easy for the stage fright to go away. She said she didn't want anyone else to see her now, and the night ended with sweet moments between the two, and the director ended up having to take up Izzy's role in her pretty dress and makeup. The next few weeks, Izzy didn't show up to school. She had not reached out to Carmen either, which was very peculiar. While worrying her head off about Izzy, she continued to befriend Kieran and Micah, who definitely weren't the same type of person as her, but she was feeling lonely, and they seemed nice enough. Izzy was missing for their third homecoming, and Carmen was missing her beyond comprehension. She and Flynn won homecoming royalty, but she wasn't feeling it. With their senior prom around the corner and a long absence of Izzy, Carmen visited Izzy's home. She was very worried about her, wondering if she did anything wrong. Regardless, she felt that Izzy needed someone right now. She found that not only had Izzy's cold new stepmother moved in, but Izzy had been moved from her room to a smaller, more desolate room in the home. Izzy seemed really upset, and it was clear she was going through a lot with her family situation, but also it felt like there was something else that was troubling her. She deeply apologized for not reaching out. Izzy didn't want to talk about her troubles, but Carmen caught her up on what Izzy had missed, holding her hand while doing so. Izzy told her that though the room was new and foreign, she could barely bear to leave it, as no one else, felt safe. Except for Carmen. Carmen left decently sure that Izzy wouldn't make it to prom, and she could never blame her for it. The night before prom, Carmen's grandparents passed. With that in mind, Carmen's plans for prom without Izzy was becoming less and less desirable. She went to the pre-party, extinguished her celebrity friend from a certain fire death, and made it to prom intact. After being crowned prom royalty, Carmen was about to end the night when she saw Izzy in the crowd. She ran over to her, and Izzy explained that she came to support Carmen, and she told Carmen something very startling. One of the reasons she left the play was stage fright, and one of the reasons that she was depressed in bed was her new family situation. There was something else happening too. For a while, Micah and Kieran, Carmen's classmates, had been bullying Izzy for being a trans girl. Carmen made sure she spent the rest of the night with Izzy and Izzy alone. She dealt with Micah and Kieran properly afterwards, cussing them out and making sure they would never feel comfortable holding someone like that ever again. Carmen had planned for a long time that she was going to leave for Del Sol. She also knew that Izzy wasn't going to come with her, and that tore her up inside. The last days before moving out were a bit awkward, as they knew they had never been apart for that long. In her last teen days, Carmen adopted a lovely chihuahua named Apple. On her birthday, she was ready to pursue her dreams, but far from ready to leave Izzy behind. She promised to not lose contact, because Izzy didn't want to leave home. Her family kept growing rapidly, and she wanted to help care for her younger siblings. She also had little interest in Del Sol, and the idea of moving there scared her a bit. They were off on their own journeys, but they promised to always be a part of each other's. Carmen was very, very broke when she moved into her tiny, rundown unit in Del Sol. She was a bit overwhelmed, but luckily there was a familiar face in tow. Flynn, her brother, had settled in the unit below as he needed to get out of his parents' house anyway. He didn't quite know what he wanted to do for work, but he was casually a musician and was pondering exploring that further. Carmen did small gigs that had her living paycheck to paycheck, but she was satisfied, reaching out to Izzy every night, hanging out with her brother, and cuddling with Apple in the evenings. Carmen also grew a bit closer to her teen friend Ocean, who won an accolade as a teenager, though Carmen could never figure out what for. He was just a babysitter and a part-time fashion designer. But after she saved his life, they were pretty friendly. She met some coworkers, Courtney and Joseph, and on to star in many, many projects together. After her film debut alongside Joseph in an apocalyptic thriller, she finally started to get a bit of traction in her acting career, but it was a little different than she expected. Her role was overshadowed by Joseph's, and the media attention surrounding the wildly successful movie neglected her character far more than anticipated. In addition, it was becoming a popular rumor that Joseph and Carmen were dating, as they were seen hanging out together before, and they had good on-screen chemistry. People theorized that the only reason Carmen, an absolute no-name, got the job was because of Joseph's connections in the industry. And paparazzi were starting to become a real problem, especially after she hung out with Joseph, who was a good friend of hers by this point. During this time, her Aunt Saffron unexpectedly passed, which only made things more difficult. After a project or two more, Carmen was invited to be interviewed on her favorite late night show, Late Nights with Ashley Ellis. She was so excited, so it hurt a lot when the interview was basically just asking about drama between her castmates and what it was like being surrounded by celebrities like Joseph. Think about herself, her journey, anything. This was very difficult for Carmen. She struggled. Her coworker and friend Courtney told her about an old friend she had named Nevada, who was in a similar type of situation to Carmen, and eventually went dark, leaving the spotlight forever. After struggling for a while, she asked if she could meet Nevada. While meeting Nevada in the park, an adorable, stinky, seemingly neglected dog named Rainbow came around with a gift in his mouth. Got a little sidetracked, fell in love, and adopted Rainbow. Went on to become very good friends with Apple. Nevada gave her some advice, and it made Carmen feel a bit better, as well as it made her wonder if coming out to the public and embracing the queer community would make her feel a bit more at home in the spotlight. This was solidified when Nevada took her to Nevada's favorite queer nightclub, a place where Carmen actually felt quite at home. With some fans there, and decided on not only coming out publicly, but to make a charity fundraiser for queer causes to really advocate for the things that she cared about. As time went on, Izzy and Carmen lost the contact that they once had. Carmen was very busy with life, and she assumed Izzy was too. Still, it broke her heart. After coming out, Carmen tried her hand in dating. She tried a celebrity, a vampire, some other folk, and unfortunately none of them really worked out. Because they were all horrible, although some of them were. Because Carmen wasn't really feeling the romantic connection that she wanted to. She made a friend out of it, though, a girl named Kala, who was nice, but again, the spark really wasn't there. Around this time, Russell decided he wanted to move in with Flynn in the apartment below Carmen's. To her surprise, Izzy was the one who drove Russell to Del Sol. Carmen was thrilled to see her, and they chatted for a small moment. Izzy's family had grown exponentially since they last saw each other, and she ended up raising 9 of her family members with very little help from her parents, one of which who died early and the other who abandoned them a little bit to live a more lavish life. That's why she was so busy. Her entire young adulthood was spent changing diapers, taking kids to school, and dealing with rebellious teens. Izzy had to leave afterwards, had to get back home to the family, though Carmen did get a chance to invite her to her adult birthday party. She was surrounded by a great deal of loved ones for her party. So many friends and family members who meant the world to her. There was one person missing from both her birthday and her life. Meanwhile, Izzy was stuck in a random bar in Del Sol. She had to get back home soon enough, though the oldest of her siblings, Kyler, was able to get the kids to bed that night. Izzy couldn't quite bring herself to leave, realizing she can't get Carmen out of her head now that she's seen her again. Kyler encouraged her to go see Carmen, and so Izzy surprised Carmen at their birthday party. It was sweet, a bit awkward, but in no time they were chatting like the best friends they are again. After that night, Izzy started to stick around in Del Sol, apparently staying with her mother in the hills. Her mother had left the kids in Izzy's care to live in a mansion in Del Sol. Carmen went to visit Izzy over there and found that the kids had actually also moved to Del Sol, but instead of moving in with their mother, they moved in with Kyler and his fiancée, who were quite keen on taking care of the kids. Izzy and Carmen hung out together in a bit of a date-adjacent way, though they never admitted it. It was so nice to be together again. And Izzy told her that she was going to decide to find a place in Del Sol, exploring what she wants to do a little, and continuing to spend time with family now that they're also in Del Sol. Around this time, we also set up Flynn with one of the women we went on a date with who we got along with well, but not romantically, Kala. After quite a while of time alongside each other, Carmen and Izzy went on a maybe date back home in Brindleton Bay in the diner that they always went to as kids. That night, Carmen and Izzy confessed their feelings by the pool in Carmen's apartment complex. Once the two started dating, things moved very fast. Carmen met and got to know Izzy's entire family, even saving her brother Jace from a house fire. Firefighter Carmen strikes again. Izzy's family is composed of kids of all ages, and Izzy had a huge impact on all of them. Izzy moved in with Carmen and continued to ponder what she wanted to do with her life with the newfound freedom. Writing? Or maybe even acting, though her stage fright did stop her as a kid. It didn't take long for Carmen to propose after midnight on New Year's Eve. Izzy happily accepted, and they talked for a second about the future. Did they want kids? Izzy loves kids, but she just got out of raising 8 of them. But she told Carmen she would like to raise a child with her. It would be different than raising 8 on her own, and it would be beautiful. In no time, the baby was on its way. Celebrated with the family, found out it was going to be a little girl, and soon enough, Carmen did give birth at the hospital the day after Love Day. And actually, it was on Valentine's Day in real life. They named her Rhiannon. The name means goddess and queen, which is fitting for who she would grow up to be. Queen, particularly. They moved to a new home, a colorful small home fit for raising Rhea. Carmen and Izzy got married, surrounded by all their family and friends from all their different parts of life. It was a little chaotic, especially with the paparazzi around trying to blend in as family, but it was a nice wedding. Rhea had her first infant playdate with Melissa, Courtney's daughter. Both being the daughters of celebrities, and both being blabbing babies, they got along swell. Around this time, Carmen found out that her brother Russell was dating Izzy's brother, Jace. Carmen was a bit worried because Jace was a enhanced kleptomaniac and a jealous simp, but we will see where it goes. She decided to try out for the acting career. She had her first gig in a little commercial. Carmen met greater success too by becoming a 5-star celebrity and placing her celebrity tile down. Carmen and Izzy went on a honeymoon to Sulani with Rhiannon in tow, enjoying the ocean and new toddler moments with Rhea. At the end of the vacation, they had a kava party and invited Russell, Flynn, Mira, and Anthony to join in their vacation. Absolutely adorable watching them all interact with spoiled little Rhiannon, but unfortunately at the end of the vacation, Mira and Anthony passed away. Their funeral was glitchy and sad, so a strange, slightly familiar figure showed up to the funeral. Rebecca Fuentes, a celebrity musician Carmen had briefly been acquainted with, though she had gotten a lot of work done since Carmen last saw her. Great sympathy and a big hug, she told Carmen that she was there to mourn Carmen's parents with her. She barely knew Rebecca, so she was a bit puzzled, but she figured Rebecca's intents were to be genuinely friendly at a time of need, and she wondered if maybe she just didn't remember she was actually kind of friends with Rebecca. Russell let Izzy know that he found a ring in Jace's bag, thinking he was going to propose. Question is, was Jace really going to propose, or did he just steal the ring? Rebecca continued to call Carmen and chat with her like old friends after the funeral, and Carmen was glad to have a friend. But when Izzy was browsing the internet, she saw that strangely, Rebecca was getting a lot of media attention for helping Carmen in a time of need. After her parents died, seen as a celebrity saint or a good friend because of it. Izzy kept it to herself, but wondered, is this why she did it? Rhiannon aged up into a child with a large birthday bash. Strangers and friends alike came together to celebrate her in a shiny indigo venue. Parents got her a guitar as she was seemingly interested in music, but she didn't pick it up. Yet. When she found videos and interviews and performances of Rebecca Fuentes online, Rhiannon became obsessed. That is exactly what she wanted to be. And watching her mom get all the public attention, Rhiannon loved it. Though her parents didn't let her be out in the public eye too much, she was ready for the day to come when she could decide to be the center of attention herself. She picked up her guitar, determined to be a guitar prodigy like Rebecca. Carmen started to write her first movie script. She wanted to create a movie that was a bit of a love letter to Izzy and their family. It was a pirate movie, and they set off on a journey to write, produce, and direct this movie with Carmen and Izzy as the leads. As they worked together on the movie, Rebecca started to ask Carmen to go on dates with her, even confessing romantic feelings. Absolutely baffled, Carmen cut contact with her, though they had yet to explain to Rhiannon that her idol is just not a good person. Carmen and Izzy's movie went on beautifully, and in the epilogue you all will get a peek at the movie's premiere. And that's it, folks. That is Carmen Chrome and Izzy Key's slightly comedic, truly romantic story. Carmen's story was centered around love, support, relationships, and the struggles of fame for somebody who wasn't quite made out for the intense spotlight. And it's coming to a close. I hope you guys enjoyed Carmen's long-winded journey over the last 2 years. I'm actually recording this exactly 2 years from posting the Cherry Cast video. Wow. I've fallen in love with this family and these Sims, and I hope that you're ready to continue this challenge with me. I'm going to be as fast as I was for the first 2 generations, and things won't quite be the same now that I'm back, but I'm really hoping that from here on out we can have a really fun time together, and hopefully no future generation will be quite as long as this one. Thank you so much for watching, and as you know, this is not the full story. Ria's story has started a long time ago and has a long way to go. Carmen's story may be over, but Rhiannon's is just getting started. We are now 3/15 the way through this challenge. We have 12 more stories left to explore, and next it is Rhiannon's time to shine. Now the final scene, it is only proper to end Carmen's story with Carmen herself.
Your way, at least that's what they say. I'll never know why. The world's a stage, but this life ain't a play. There's no rhyme or reason for the reasons in that oh, it says and that's fine. And I'm alright, you try your best, never know what you find. Oh, everything's okay. It doesn't feel the way. It doesn't matter that Your hair looks longer than last June. There's so much I've been dying to know about you. But we've been distant, is it too soon to call pretending it's to ask you what's new? And I hope we haven't lost our way, 'cause it feels that way to me. But I know that when I see you, oh, I'll never